How important is it to have more female coaches involved in the game?
There's a lot more opportunities for female coaches to be part of not just the female game, but the male game. Females are putting in as much work as the males to be at the level that they want to be.
There needs to be a huge push by, UEFA, FIFA, and I know there is, but also the national associations of the respective countries to, have at times female-only coach education, a mentoring system in place, because we do need to have that equality and more female coaches at the top end.
I've been fortunate enough to work under some amazing female coaches and staff. Shelley Kerr was my manager at Arsenal, really put a lot of faith in me to make us vice captain of such a great club.
When I was at Arsenal, when I first came in, she played left back and central midfield, and right away I had a chat with her, and I could see longevity in her career by playing centre back because of her game awareness. And I'm so glad that I tried her in that position.
The likes of Hope Powell, I'll be forever grateful for. Hope was my manager to give us my England debut. She really pushed us hard. She really challenged us as a 17-year-old making the England debut. It was important to not get ahead of myself. It was always about keeping your feet on the floor and being a better person and player, get fitter. Dawn Scott, I think she's the best in the world at what she does. She's won a lot of medals with the USA team. Me and Dawn's been on a big journey, I think. When I first started to go on the England camps, she was always the one that used to give us my training programmes at England.
I was very fortunate, and I laugh about it with Steph, that I actually worked her first ever camp where she was actually called up off standby for a youth camp at Lilleshall as a 14-year-old. And at that time we had maybe 18 players in the squad, and staff would have to make up the numbers to almost shadow play the opponent. So I actually marked Steph in her very first England game.
She's a person that I really lean on a lot in terms of how to improve my performance and how to get better. And I don't think I've ever made her happy or ever made her say well done, because she's always pushing us so much to be even better.
To see what she's achieved since then, from a professional level, being almost the face of Manchester City, turning professional and being a captain and leader there, and then of country is just amazing. And part of, again, my decision to come back was to be part of those players again.
Only probably recently in the past few years I've had a chance to work with female coaches, which probably says a lot.
You look at sport in terms of, like I say, the breakdown of gender. There is a bias, male-female. You then start looking at the coaches, and again, the bias becomes bigger in that there's more male coaches compared to female coaches.
If I'm taking myself back to the 1990s, and I think you have to establish in that era, we had a woman manager. I don't think I'd have been ready for it. And I can't lie, I'll be sitting here and telling people what they want to hear. Of course I wasn't ready for that. But the world has changed so much now.
They've got a different mindset, a different outlook on how football is, and outside of football, how things work. So hopefully people start adapting to that idea much quicker than it has been in the past.
I don't think you look at someone and, she's a woman, or he's white, he's black, it's a man. I think you pick the best people, and if it's a woman and can do the job better than a man, then you give them the job.
If you go through the same qualifications kind of pathway and then build up experience, like, you've got just as much right to apply for something as a male with the same qualifications do.
There will be a women's Premier League manager, and why not? Why shouldn't there be?